Okay, so today was mostly working on the wings, both front and rear. I started with the front wings. The goal was to glue them on today. Um, the procedure sort of is to glue them on for one day, the tops, wait for them to cure for 24 hours, and then fill out the bottom the next time you come around. So what I did was uh, I took the wings, the front wings off. They were still attached by the wires, but I flipped them off, and then I sort of cleaned the wing stays and the underside of the wings with rubbing alcohol just to make sure there's no like loose particles that the glue will sort of interfere with the glue. And I also sanded off the rear side of the front wing. Last time I didn't do that because I couldn't easily I didn't have time to measure out where to sand off in the back. I started with that, and then I used Sikaflex 252 to apply on top of the wing stay, and then I pushed the wings onto them and sort of centered the wing over the tire and the wheel, and then also used the level on top of the wing to make sure that the wing itself is level. Um, and that was kind of all there was to it. I sort of it takes a little bit of finagling to make sure that the it's correct. It's probably still not perfect, but it's probably as close as I will be able to get it. Um, the other thing after you do that is you sort of want to tape the wing to the tire just to give it a little bit more grip into the adhesive. Um, and then, as I mentioned earlier, after 24 hours, you can take off the wheel and glue the underside. Uh, don't forget, you also probably want to, tape up the repeater wire to the wheel, to the wing, just to make sure the wheel doesn't hit it when it's rotating, which is what I will do the next time when I go to glue the underside of the wing. Um, I also did the rear wheel, the rear wings. It's not as intimidating as the manual makes it look. The manual makes it look like you have to make a billion cuts on the rubber gasket that you fit between the wing and the chassis. In reality, I kind of just had to cut out where the bolts were and not even all of the bolts. So what I did was I fit the wing on loosely with all the bolts and then put the gasket in between and just sort of figured out where I needed to cut and then just sort of tucked it in section by section and tightened it section by section until I got all the way to the end. It was relatively straightforward. And then once that's done, I got confused with the taillights because the bolts on the taillight, when you put it through the plastic bracket and the rubber mount, they don't even go into the wheel well. So what happens is there's an extra pack of fasteners with these sort of sleeves for the bolts, and then also the packet you're looking for has these like 45-degree angle cut spacers. They're black and they kind of stand out. That's how you would look for that packet. That packet has the spacers you need. You probably want a couple of washers as well. There's spring and the regular flat washers, and then the angled spacers as well as the bolt sleeve. So what you do is you have the mounting plastic bracket and the mounting rubber on the outside of the wheel well or the wing, and then the spacer, the washers, and the bolt sleeve go on the inside, and the sleeves sort of slide over the bolts and tighten. Um, Once I figured that out, it was pretty easy. I also, but once you do that, you also need some way to secure the tail light wire so that the wheels aren't hitting it when you're driving. So I thought I saw some P clips in the packet, but they don't seem to fit those bolt sleeves. So I got to try to figure something else out next session. The last thing I did was mount the washer fluid tank to the chassis. So I guess you could drill your own hole, but seems like common wisdom is to mount it to one of the bolts for the rear wings on the passenger side. So I took off one of the bolts and I saw that for it to fit, you have to slot it in the lower hole of the mounting bracket. This is the same mounting bracket as the the runoff tank in the front engine. So, uh, but I'm only using the one hole at the bottom in the middle of it. This you'll notice the bolt is a 6 millimeter bolt and it won't fit. So I had a um I had a drill bit that was 13/64. So I drilled it out and the 13/64 bit was perfect for the 6 millimeter. It would fit through and then the bolt would sort of just catch onto the mounting bracket and push it against the chassis. Once that was done, I just uh, slid the washer fluid tank over it, connected the tube, and connected the wire to it, and that was it. I think there's more to do next session, which is try to finish gluing the front wings, tuck in and secure the wires for the front wings, secure the tail light wires in the rear wings, um, and then reattach the wheels and mount up the gas filler area. Uh, so more next time.